everybody. Welcome to Hey Nikki, episode 2. I am your host, Nikki Johnston, and this is a Beyond Eons Productions. Welcome. I hope everyone had an amazing holiday yesterday. Not gonna lie, y'all, I am tired. I had to hit the snooze button twice this morning. Got my liquid caffeine. Had to get up real quick and put something on my face so I didn't look so damn tired. But anyways, I hope you guys all enjoy the holiday with your family and friends and ate lots of amazing food. I did not have a lick of turkey, thank goodness. I cannot stand turkey. We got an awesome honey baked ham, and we had some pumpkin soup and potatoes and sweet potatoes. What else? Some rolls, Hawaiian rolls, I think. So Ori and I went over to my parents' house. Miss Raven was with her dad, so she got to spend the holiday with her dad and her other set of grandparents, so I'll get to find out what they ate, but I know that she made some mac and cheese, so we'll see if she brings any back to me. We'll see. Anywho, let's get this started. Oh, actually, before we get started, I would like to send my condolences to the Venisi family. My really good friend Sarah, who we went to high school with. We were in each other's weddings, and we made a lot of good memories together. Her father, Frank, passed away Wednesday night. Just a beautiful man, beautiful father, beautiful husband, just such a good-spirited guy. He just was always happy, always smiling, just the cutest man ever. So we're really gonna miss Frank. So I wanted to send my condolences to Sarah, her siblings, Angie and Joey, and his wife, Anna, and all the grandchildren as well. So just wanted to let her know she's in my heart. She sent over some pictures yesterday at her wedding of me and my other previous friend Sarah. We were both kissing him on the cheek, and it was just really nice to go down memory lane. So he is very much loved and will be missed. So I wanted to say that first. All right, on to the show. Miss Stephanie McClellan, where are you? All right, I gotta invite her on. I still can't get on live on Hey Nikki Show account. Still not eligible because I'm a new account. I don't know. I have to figure that out. All I know is that they said that sometimes new accounts, they don't allow you to get on live or do certain things. I don't know if I need a certain amount of followers. I really don't care. I have this account, so I'll keep using this account until that one is ready to be fully up and running. So thank you guys for watching. Let me get Miss Stephanie on and we will get rolling. All right. Stephanie, where are you at? Let's see. There you are. I'm downloading these videos and I hope that we can get them up. Jakeem is going to edit them and put them up on his YouTube channel, which is Beyond Eons. So please go over there and subscribe. We have the Other Side of Things show with Dante Martin, and it's an amazing show. And I hope to bring some of those guests on my show as well, and to kind of pick apart some of the stuff that's spoken about in the Other Side of Things and go a little bit deeper into other subjects. So we'll see. I'm already talking to Michelle right now. She is a lovely lady who grew up with type 1 diabetes, has had transplants, has been through so many things. So I'm very excited to get her on as well. All right, Stephanie, where are you? Hi, Nami. Love you. Happy Thanksgiving. Oh, Steph, you're not able to join. Why? Okay, Stephanie, what I want you to try to do is request to join and see if that helps. Oh, yay, there we go. Hello.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
It's good. It's good.
All right.
Happy day after. Whoops.
All right. Are we going to get some grandkids running in the room?
No, 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 no. I got everything situated, I hope.
All right. Awesome. So tell us, what did your feast look like yesterday?
Um, Yesterday we had all the norms. And, of course, we had a great turkey, and we do the green bean casserole. Although it was a little bit healthier because my sister made it gluten free for
Okay.
my dad. So that was great. And then we had mashed potatoes, the gravy, stuffing, and sweet potato casserole. So we had all the things. It was great. It was great.
Awesome.
And just it's more about the family and spending time together. And I've learned through various journeys in my life, and that it's not about the food.
No.
The food's great, but the company is just the most amazing thing. And that's what I tend to focus on now. So, you know, it's a little bit of both.
Well,
How about you?
it was interesting because I was trying to do a reel on my way to work Wednesday morning, and I was going to go off on a tangent about being grateful and thankful. Hey, Aaron, being grateful and thankful every day, and why do we need one day to celebrate for everyone to go around the table to say what they're thankful for? When it's just it should be being grateful and thankful every day for everything that you have,
Right.
or the little things, or I was going to even say, like, if Ori does the dishes or does the laundry, or if Raven cleans a room, or it's like, I think that we should be thanked every single day, because it's just showing each other that we care that they're doing something for us, or that they mean something to us. And why do we have to be surrounded by a cornucopia of food in order to say these things?
Exactly.
You so I
Exactly.
was going to go
I
off on
know.
a tangent on that, and then I stopped. Oh, who's that?
Lucy escaped
Ooh,
in, so I thought the door was locked, and so she's been sitting here quietly.
no,
But
Lucy, Lucy.
do you want to say
Can
hi?
she come on real quick? Hi, Kim. Hi. I have never met you before. How
So
are you?
can you say hi to Nikki?
Look at that face. Hi, Allie. Hi, Miss
You know,
Allie.
isn't it Allie Jr.? Yeah, you want to say hi?
Hi,
Not so much.
sweetie. Okay, I'll take your feet. I'll take your feet. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh, so cute.
she is.
One of these days, one of
I
these days.
I know. I know. It's crazy. It's
But
just
yeah,
crazy.
I was like frustrated with myself about my thoughts, and I was going to go on a tangent about different things like Friendsgivings. Like, I just had all these thoughts in my head through the rest of the workday, and I'm like, you know what? I'm dropping it all. I'm just going to say, just make sure you're around the people that you love and care about,
Yeah.
and enjoy the day with each other, because we can't always be around each other, because, we have our own separate lives. And when we do have these holidays, it is a moment where we can bring everyone together who
Hmm.
we love and care about. You know what I mean? And it's hard, because you don't also want to be forced to be around people you don't want to be with. Like,
No,
just
not at
because
all.
they're your
And
family,
yeah.
you
Well,
know?
and you know what? And I think we talk about that. I think I reflect on, past memories of all the different Thanksgivings through my life, and what they meant to me as a kid. And then, because as a kid, a lot of times you are dragged to places and you're like, I don't want to, especially teenagers, whatever, at that adolescent age. And you just can't have that comprehension of, it's about being with
Right.
family. It's about enjoying, and it's about making memories. It's not about, oh my God, I had to go do this. And we spent, many Thanksgivings in various places, like I said, throughout my life, with my dad's family, my mom's family. And then once I got married, then you put that in the mix, and it's like you've got to like make time for the in-laws, and it may not necessarily be, what you thought it was going to be. And,
Right.
and then different foods, and how different, families have different traditions, and you might be used to your tradition, and then you have
Right.
to be open to other traditions.
Yes.
And then, like I said, as things progress, and like my dad now is gluten free,
Yeah.
so things change, and she's like, my stuffing is gluten free, and I'm like, oh. And she's like, it's gonna be great, it's gonna be great, and I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be great.
The the
Yeah,
mental energy you have to put into it to trick your
exactly.
mind into, okay, what is this gluten-free mess?
Right, right. But no, it was great, and
Good.
everything was wonderful.
Yeah.
And again, at the end of the day, it's not about the food.
Right.
So if I'm going to make stuffing next week, I'll make stuffing next week.
Exactly.
Or I can make stuffing in
Exactly.
July.
Yeah.
It's not like it has to be on Thanksgiving. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, I
But
think there's so much value in learning other people's traditions. Again, for me,
yes,
it's being around the people you care about, and it's worth it
right.
because that's your dad. Like, he doesn't have a choice. So it's like, oh, well, I get to try something new
Yes,
because of him, or because I have in-laws now, I get to try a different type of casserole or
yes,
whatever. So that, I think, is super important. And I do believe that the kids should be around their family, because just because I don't have a good relationship with so and so, they
right.
may, right? So I think as the kids get older, as we all get older, like, you want to give them that opportunity to be around their family. But at the same time, as we get older, I don't think that we should be forced to spend time with our family just because they're our family.
Right,
You pick
right.
the ones that you have a good relationship with and want to be around, and that makes you feel good, because we don't have time to be, we have so much negativity around us. Why continue to be around family just because they're blood related? For what?
Yeah.
Like, to get in
Yeah,
an
if
argument?
well, yeah, I mean, if you're going to be miserable, then that doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense. Or if you're going to make other people
Yeah.
miserable because of your actions. So, there's that.
Right.
But
Yeah, so that's kind of what I was like debating with in my head, because for me growing up, it was just it was the four of us, me, Lenny, my parents, out in Chicago, and everyone was here in Rhode Island. And then it was always my grandparents that would travel. We would go to here to Rhode Island, or they would come see us. And that was the nuclear, that was it. That was the six of us, the
right.
core.
Mhm.
And when I would come here over the summers, I would meet so many new family. I'd be excited and get to meet someone new. Like, every time I would play volleyball in college in a new state, I would meet someone new. And it was such a beautiful thing for me. And then when I moved here, it was just like so, something. I changed. First of all, I was a very different person when I
Yeah.
came back here. When I was married to Raven's father, and it was like, is it me? Is it them? Is it life?
Yeah.
I missed a
I think it's all of it.
lot.
Yeah,
It,
it's
it,
a
it
lot of moving parts.
yeah, and it made me really sad, because I'm like, I don't have this connection that I really wanted, and I'm just now realizing that it's okay. Like,
Yeah.
I made a new family. I'm making a new family. I'm making the
Right.
family that I want, and I don't give a shit if they have the same bloodline as me. Oh
Right.
yeah?
Yeah.
She's like, amen. Thank you, Lucy.
We we've
Thank
been
you.
we've been up since a little after six.
Oh,
So
hell no.
which is a better improvement from yesterday. We woke up at 5:15.
I tell y'all, Raven, I love you so much, because there is only one day in her life that I remember her getting up before 6 a.m. and I lost my shit. She's never done that since.
Well,
This child has slept in with the best of them, and
yeah.
I love her for that.
Well, normally she is, I mean, she's a great sleeper. Like, the girls go to bed 6:30, 7 o'clock,
Yeah,
and she'll sleep until 7:30 to 8:30. And even though she wakes up, she'll get up and she'll stay in her bed. So,
yeah.
but being in a strange place, and I was sleeping in the room with her,
No.
so
Aw.
everything was a little off the last couple of nights.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but she's a trooper.
Aw.
She's a trooper for being
Good.
only 2 3/4.
Right.
I have to give her a lot of credit.
Yeah,
So
getting them out now and used to traveling and seeing different places, I think that's great. And hopefully she adjusts. I mean, it does. It takes some time, because they're so out of their routine right now, I'm sure, even though you're trying to
yeah,
keep it.
we're trying to keep things somewhat normal, but it's still a process, and but yeah, so but it's
Good. Fun,
all
fun.
good. Yes,
Okay,
lots of fun.
so let's get into the thick of it. So we had Bonnie on last week, and there was just so many good points that
Yeah.
we hit. And there are so many points that I know that you can relate to. And, I wanted to start her show off on a random thing that happened. But I think it's a great way for us to start. And we went back and forth about what we wanted to discuss today. And you pulled out from a lot of that was self-confidence.
Yeah, I did.
Right.
I mean, that was my, that was my thoughts when, she was talking about, either taking a
It's,
compliment or, having somebody address something about saying, well, hey, I like this better about you or that better. And I think there's a lot of that goes into how you react based on where you are in your journey of
right.
self-confidence. Because as women, I think, well, I should say, as me, I'm a little bit older than you are. And I think growing up, you know, the girls today, I think, have a lot more tools to identify confidence in different ways.
Mhm.
And, when I was a kid, like, we didn't talk about that kind of stuff. It wasn't really even addressed, and it wasn't like something that was promoted. And I
Mhm.
think that also, as for my life growing up, it really wasn't like self-confidence might have always been in my mind construed as being like conceited or to be,
A bit,
like
sure.
yeah, like a negative connotation
Yeah,
almost.
yeah.
And so it was like, not to use a buzzword, but to be like, to be a little bit more demure, to be like shrinking violet, like not to really be out about yourself.
Right.
So it was not something that I had. Like, I can look back and say, okay, as a child, I had no self-confidence
Yeah.
whatsoever. And I don't know where it stemmed from. I don't
Yeah,
know,
that's
if it was instilled in me or it was just in, something that I just didn't feel about myself ever.
mhm.
And, and then as, time goes on and, adolescence is a really difficult time, I think, for girls in general. And for me too, is self-confidence. I mean, um, I think that, number one, having, I look back and it was like, okay, did I have weight issues? Maybe I wasn't the skinniest person on earth, but I certainly don't think that in today's society we would have said I had weight issues.
Right.
But I felt like I always had weight issues.
Oh,
So I
looking
think that
back, that's always the case.
yeah. And
You're
so I
never
think,
as heavy as you were or
right,
you thought you were, right?
right, right,
Our perception of ourselves at that time is so
right,
grossly
right.
out of control.
Well,
But I
and I
will
will
say,
say that there was one defining moment in middle school, junior high, when we were in a health class. And for whatever reason, they decided they were going to weigh us all.
mhm,
So this is like maybe seventh grade,
okay,
maybe seventh, eighth grade, seventh, something like that. And the teacher, put me on the scale and she whispered my weight, like 122. And I felt like that was like the most embarrassing thing on earth, because everybody else, she was just like, here's your weight, here's your weight. And so, like I said, here we are 45 years later, whatever, it's
that's
still in my
still,
brain. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And
Well, I remember you talking about at some point having not a competition really, but comparing yourself to your
well,
sister.
yeah, yeah, because my sister, okay, so connotation, I'm 5'2". My sister is 5'10".
Yep.
And so, needless to say, as she started growing, I mean, she was very, very, very thin. And so that was, a huge contrast
Yeah.
for both of us.
So at what
Um,
age did you really notice a difference between the two of you? Was it after the weight thing in seventh grade or was it before?
I think it was right around the same time. She started growing taller than me right around that same time. Like,
Yeah.
she was probably, I want to say, like the 10, 11 age group that she was. So I would have been, you know, 12, 13.
Yeah.
And then she shot, way up, and, and it was like, it was, just that whole curve of, now she's tall, she's
Yeah.
thin, I'm short, not so, necessarily
Yeah.
thin. I had the different build um, than she did, and so our bodies were just completely different.
Right.
So even trying to compare us together would have been, I mean, nobody would have ever, said,
Right.
here's a compare apples to apples, because we were not at
Right.
all.
Well, let me jump a little bit. So think about it, you guys. We are both bodybuilders. I'm not even as tall as Melissa. I'm like 5'8", right? But I've never been like have that skinny build. When I deal with a client and I have someone Stephanie's height trying to compare themselves to someone like me, who we have completely different body types, it's absolutely insanity to me. When you guys so we have such a broad audience. For those of you who are looking at competing or want to go into competing or even doing it now, you got to compare apples to apples. Find someone who you look up to. If you want to go body for body,
Hmm.
someone's physique that you look up to, please find someone who matches your body, who has a similar leg length, similar torso, similar
Right.
build. Okay, because I have seen so many people compare to others, and we shouldn't necessarily compare, but we have aspirations.
Right.
Like we have goals, so you're gonna compare. Like you're like, oh, that's where I'm going,
Right.
right? And you use that as a golden standard for yourself. But come on now, I'm not going to set myself up like most competitors that do so well, Steph, are around your height to around 5'4".
Yeah.
I'm a giant compared to them. I will never look like
Right.
them. So I'm looking at like Ticey Coppett or some of the taller
Right.
girls. That's who I have to look at. But if you guys are comparing apples to oranges, you're going to destroy yourself and you'll never ever try or you'll never do it again.
Exactly.
So it's just, sorry, just that just hit
No,
me hard
no,
because
and I
that's
think
what
that
I've always dealt with.
that's just, I mean, well, in the sport itself, I mean, there's a lot of, and as a coach, I know you said you can't compare. I mean, you can look at other people to inspire to, but you have to look at like-minded.
Yep,
But but at the end of the day, you can't compare yourself to anybody else, because your body is your body,
right.
and the only thing you can do is compete with your older
Yep,
self, and or you know yesterday, compete with what you did yesterday and make it better today.
yep,
And that's really it. I mean, because your genetics aren't going to be the same as mine.
right.
I mean, I can look at and say, well, I'm 5'2", DLB is 5'2", 5'3". Maybe I'll look like her.
Yep,
Okay. In a perfect world, but not
right.
even.
So yeah,
So it,
so for you or for anyone, it would be an aspiration. So
correct.
you know that you're not, obviously you don't have the same body, but you
No.
know that you have someone who's around the same size,
Right.
same lines. You're like, okay, so this is what I'm working towards. I like her, what she presents, and so this is what I'm working towards. So it's the same thing in athletics, like, as far as aspiring to Michael Jordan or to Kobe or to LeBron. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to be 6'8", and that's just, but it's what they bring to the table, their
Right.
attitude, their demeanor, their, like, you take certain aspects of different people and you formulate what works, best for you.
Right.
Thank you, Chris.
Aw.
That's Stephanie's baby right
That's
there.
my boy. Yeah.
Um, but I want to go back to your, okay, so let's compare seventh grade Stephanie
Okay.
and move you through the year as quickly as we
Yeah.
can. Kind of what point, okay, so you've hit some really interesting points through your life.
Yeah.
So after that seventh grade moment, what would be the next step in your self-confidence or journey after that?
I guess, I mean, it was, you I think I spent many years not thinking about having confidence. Not, it wasn't something like, I kind of looked at it as, well, you're not self-confident, so don't even try. So I
Okay.
think for years I just kind of like flattened out and just didn't try different things. And then becoming a very young mother, I put all my focus literally away from myself and said, well, now as a mother, you know, you need to focus on your child.
Right.
And I just I allowed myself to take a back seat and
Yeah.
said, you're not important. So focus on your child, focus on being a mother, focus on all of that. And instead of saying, well, I need to be the best mother I can be, so I need to be the best human I can be, so I can be the best mother. I did it all backwards.
Okay.
And that didn't really work for me. So then, needless to say, my self confidence just plummeted, and it just wasn't something that I ever thought I would ever get back.
Right.
And as my weight crept up, and I again continued to put myself on the back burner and focus on other things, whether it would be, you know, get my marriage, my kids,
Mhm.
everything was always a priority other than me.
Right.
And then I realized way too late that that is not the
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah.
And you can't be a good mother. You can't be a good wife if you're not a good person,
Right.
or if you don't believe that you're a good person.
Hmm.
So fast forward into, my 40s, when I don't know, something clicked, and it was just like, okay, you need to take, I go back to that simple thing when you get on the airplane and they say, put your mask on first
Yep.
and then take care of the others. If you don't
Hmm.
take care of yourself, you really can't take care of anybody
Right.
else.
So just to paint a picture for you guys, we have Stephanie McClellan, who was a seventh grader, getting told, "You're 22." Fast forward just 4 years, and she's a mom. No time to work on herself. No time to even address self-confidence. It wasn't even part of your life. It went from, okay, this teacher thinks I'm heavy. Well, I don't even know what the fuck that means.
Right.
So yes, I'm heavy. Like to be so like that seed was planted,
Hmm.
right? To being a 16-year-old mom to like, oh shit, I gotta be an adult now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm still in high school. I'm like, how do I figure this out?
Yeah.
And then you're thrust into being a mother right away. And then, um, so, but then you went from being a mom to getting married and to, continuing to grow your
Yeah.
family. And then the weight for you, the weight just kept coming on
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
Chris?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think, after I got married, and then after I had my second child, after I had Allie, it just, um, well, food, that's a whole nother
Yeah.
story, and we could probably do a show on that. But food became my drug of choice, and it was my everything. It was my best friend. It was my nemesis. It was my comfort zone. It was everything, um, but helping me.
Yeah.
And it just kind of went downhill. And I just, with each pregnancy, gained more weight. And I guess I just looked at other ways to, um,
So
coping
good.
mechanisms.
Yeah.
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 And anyway, it led me to finally getting to a max of like 350 pounds
That
ish.
was your 40. So that was in your 40s, or what was in your 40s
No,
that you
no,
hit
I want
that?
to say, so I had Robbie when I was 30. And so I think I probably peaked, um, around, 1998. Like, yeah, I guess I was about 33, 34. And then I ended up having to have a major surgery, which, they were very concerned about my weight with
Yeah.
anesthesia. And that was the first time medically that I was embarrassed. So, they had to do an abdominal ultrasound, and she basically, I didn't know what the word habitus, is that the word when they say like you're fat, basically.
No, no.
And
Uh-uh.
yeah, it's a medical term. I have to think of it.
All right. If
But
any of you guys
anyway,
know it, let me know.
I
I'm
want
not
to say
sure.
it's like, yeah, something. Anyway, basically, she was saying she was too fat to basically do the ultrasound,
Okay.
the abdominal ultrasound, because she could not get through all the layers of my fat. And I was
Wow.
just like, oh, wow. So that's where I kind of like, well, also, I will say that weighing 300 pounds and trying to chase after a toddler doesn't work
Right, right,
at all.
right.
And you would thought, okay, well, that's rock bottom. I can't interact with my child. I can't get on the floor. I can't play with them. I can't chase them. No, I think, you know, you can go even further
Yeah.
down. I mean, and it got to the point where I was like, okay, but, um, but I didn't mentally take care of myself.
Mhm.
Even though I did something physically, surgically to help me, I didn't fix the mental aspect of it. And
So you had
that's,
the
I did.
bypass how old were you then?
That was in 2002. So I guess I was about 35, 36.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
And so I did that and successfully lost 100 pounds. And, which was great. But again, didn't deal with things mentally,
Yeah.
didn't take care of, the emotion
The
side of it.
self-confidence.
No, I still had no confidence
Yeah.
whatsoever. Well,
Yeah.
and that's the other thing too. We want to talk about trying to take a compliment. If you don't have any confidence in yourself, you can't take a compliment.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't
You
believe it.
deflect or yeah, it's interesting. So I've even noticed this about Raven that she can't really handle compliments. She will immediately compliment someone back.
Hmm.
So it's like and I've noticed that her self-confidence is not very high, even though outwardly she may seem like it. But when we get her in those positions, she automatically will deflect and say, "Oh, well, I like your earrings," or "I like your," you know
Yes.
what I mean? Like she can't internalize and really soak in that compliment and just say, "Thank you," you know?
Yeah.
So it's tough. It's tough.
It is. It is. And that's why I say, here's a person who, me, who at one point, I did everything in my power to like hide,
Hmm.
where, and you think, okay, the bigger you are, just wear bigger clothes and nobody will see you.
Right,
Okay.
right, right,
Well,
right.
that doesn't work.
Yeah, yeah.
So what do? I fall into a sport where you're totally being judged on how you look, totally being judged. And
You're like, fuck it, I'm just going for broke and I'm just gonna like just take off all my clothes and push myself out
exactly,
there.
I'm like, who are you? But even then it got to the point where i didn't I didn't see it. I still couldn't
Yeah.
see it. um Somebody would be like, oh my god, your arms are jacked. No, they're not. Look at her arms, or look that. No, they're not.
Y'all,
They're not.
you, you should have seen these fucking guns. I'm not kidding, man. This woman has some just gnarly arms that I like genuinely.
Yeah.
And even then, but I think it was a combination of not being good enough on one side, and then seeing a heavy person, seeing that a fat Stephanie always,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So we were always looking at the negative
Oh yeah.
parts of you instead of enjoying. It's hard to really, when you're in the thick of it, it's so hard to enjoy what's right
Yeah.
because you feel so bad. And then, like, you're crazy most of
Yeah.
the time.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's like you can never, it's really a hard process to enjoy. And
It is. And but I think, again, and it's such a weird feeling though when you do finally look in the mirror and be like, holy shit, you look freaking amazing.
yep.
But to say it out loud, even at that point, is still it's a mental mind
Yeah,
fuck. I'm sorry. It
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
it really is. And it takes a lot. And even now, like, going from, okay, here we are at 350, and then I get down and lose, over 200 pounds. I think I was 147 on
Yeah, yeah,
stage.
you got under 150.
And it
Yep.
was just like, holy cow. But then, that rebound, and then realizing, okay, well, that's not reality either.
Yeah.
So, sustainable. So then you have to find that balance of, and now my goal is, okay, I have grandchildren, I have a life, I live at the beach, I want to be
Mhm.
active. I don't want to compete with other women. I just want to be the best person I can
Right,
be. And what does that look like?
right.
um and and the thing is that I can say, yeah, my arms are jiggly, my knees are, have saggy skin, but hey, all of that got me to where I am today.
Hmm.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I, you know,
I can.
I think for both of us, we're still trying to find our place
Yeah.
because we're not like we've grown so much mentally, but
Yes.
there's still that component. There's still that back of the head, like striving to attain a certain body. And I know we're not going to be that competitor again. That's I think I've realized that I don't want to go back to that, but I'm trying to find that middle ground of where I do want to be, where I'm comfortable.
Right.
And so
It,
the journey never stops. It
no, it
doesn't
doesn't.
matter where we're at. It just continues. And you want to live your best life and feel the best because you're living, obviously, now that you have some self-confidence back, you understand that you have to take care of you first. But that also means that you want to look a certain way.
Right.
Like that's
Yeah.
still there.
Yeah. I mean, I do. I think it's more not necessarily, aesthetics, but just knowing how
Functionality.
good you can feel mentally and physically when you're in better condition, in better
Right,
shape,
right.
but transitioning from the bodybuilding world to just a lifestyle, healthy lifestyle
Mhm.
world, it took a really long transition, and it wasn't easy. It was definitely, um, another journey. So yeah, like you said, I mean, our journeys go on different paths, and some are
Right.
uphill, and then some are downhill, and we're just cruising.
Yeah.
We're going, and then look, oh my God, there's another hill we got to go, and you just, But I think that, through our friendship and through, whether it be you coaching me or just guiding me, or we just having a shit show
Yeah.
conversation,
Just talking it out.
we just find those journeys, and
Yeah.
it's like, okay, we're still
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
uh,
Right.
and that's just the key, is you don't stop.
Right.
Whatever, wherever your journey takes you, you just keep going.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to embrace it and try different things and find what feels
Oh,
best
sure.
for
I
me.
mean, every diet under the sun, I think you've tried,
Oh
and
yeah,
and you'll get
absolutely.
me to like get on board. I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't think I'm doing that one today,
Right,
but
right,
but
right.
yeah, maybe next week we'll do something else.
Yeah,
Whether, I don't want to say diet because I hate that word, but
right, right.
nutrition guidance
Yeah,
or meal
yeah.
plans or whatever the case may be, and it's like, okay, today my meal plan is coffee and Butterfingers, and tomorrow it might be
Right.
protein shakes and I won't say carrot sticks because that probably won't happen, but we just you just keep going,
Yeah,
and then that's the
it's
key.
insane. Hey, Bonnie. Even like I can coach the shit out of anybody, right? But man, when it comes to myself, I just
Well,
miss the mark
sure.
so often because I'm special, I'm different, and
Well,
it doesn't work for me.
I think we all feel that way. Like, no, I can't do that. That won't work
Right,
on
right,
me. I'm
right.
My body's so resilient to that. It won't work. It won't work. And it's like, sit down.
Yeah,
sit
yeah, yeah.
down,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why I think, the misconception that a coach doesn't have a coach. Yes, you always, if you want to get to a level, you're going to get somebody who's already there
Right.
to coach you. So
Yeah.
it's like, I'm not going to coach myself coming in and not knowing what I'm doing.
Right,
I'm
right,
going to
right.
seek out a coach. And, and that's where you and I found. Now, granted, there were times when being friends didn't help because I was just like, Nick, come on,
I'm
I
not
can't
doing
do that. Like, shut up.
right,
Do what I
right,
say. I'm not your friend right now. I'm your
right,
coach.
right.
So
Yeah.
there's
That line,
always
that
room.
dividing line is hard not to go over when you get close to your clients and they become best friends.
Right, right. True. But,
So, but now what's been beautiful about it is just watching, sorry, there we go. Just trying to be there for each other, in whatever capacity on whatever journey that we're on, and then sharing with
right,
each other because
right.
little bits and pieces of what you're doing, I can apply to me and vice versa. And then we try to find that middle ground of, progressing
Yeah,
towards where we want to go. But man, since competing, it's really hard to get there because we only know extremes.
exactly. It's all or nothing. And that's a hard thing to do. But it's also
Yes.
good because, having a coach and a friend say, call you out on your shit too and say, no, we're not doing that. Stop.
Yeah.
Whereas, with other clients, you're like, well, okay, that's probably not the best thing. And me, like,
Right.
you can be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Stop it,
Yeah.
and don't do that.
Right. Yeah. I
Or
think over
get
the
your ass to the
years,
gym and do
yeah.
that, and no
Yeah.
excuses.
I've really learned how to when not to push someone and give them that tough love when they need it or
Right.
hold their hand when they need it
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you can feel it. You can feel like, okay, this if I do this person, I'm going to push them over the edge.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, let me walk with them a little bit slower and take a step back. And then sometimes I'm just like, no,
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done with you
Exactly. Yeah. You're
because
wasting.
you're not in the right place. And I've had to push clients away because I'm like, this isn't for you right now. I can't because I'm the one that's hurting. I'm the one that's suffering because you're not in a place to do this. So it's okay. Like, let's step away. I think maybe that you should just,
Yeah.
try something on your own or focus on something else that I really can't help you with, and then maybe come back later. And, that honesty has really allowed me to have clients come back and they're like, okay, I'm ready. This is what I did. Now I'm ready. I'm like, awesome, let's go.
Well, I think that's a trait of a great coach because somebody else would just sit there and take somebody's money and be like,
Right.
well,
Yeah, I can't because it really like physically and mentally and emotionally it just takes a toll on me and it's just like
yeah,
I
yeah.
cannot because
And that's
I'm
not
just
fair to
because I
anybody.
feel like I'm being a shitty coach because they're not getting anywhere because they're not doing what they're supposed to do because they're not in the right place.
Right.
And so it's like, okay, and I'm the one that has to tell them they're not in a right place and be like, look, it's okay. I
Yes.
know you tried. I'm grateful that you tried and we did this. I'm happy you're my client, but I think you need to
Yeah,
stop. You need to stop.
exactly.
So,
That's a great point. I mean, and that's what I respect
right.
uh, from a coach and, from you and, as a friend. I mean, it goes both ways.
Right. So I want to end the self-confidence piece because I do want to transition into something else.
Okay.
So given, again, there's so much stuff that we can really go off on a tangent and have a totally separate show
Hmm.
about, but let's take you from that seventh grader to being a new mom to being 350 to getting on stage to now, how old are you now, Steph?
I'm 58.
58-year-old grandmother of
I
four, right?
I have four granddaughters. Yes.
Yes. Where are you at right now with your self-confidence along this journey you've been on?
My self confidence is much greater, and it's still not. I think you can have self confidence in so many different areas. So I am like my
Your
job.
job.
Like I am
Yeah.
1,000% confident in my job. Like,
Mhm.
there's no question. I love my job. I feel like I do a great job. I can toot my own horn on all of that, and it's great. my self-confidence in the person that I am, I think I have really good self-confidence in that. I'm proud of the person that I've become,
Mm-hmm.
um, in a long journey. I mean, there's still parts that I don't feel confident in. It's still very difficult for me to take
Mm-hmm.
compliments. Somebody can say, "Oh, your hair looks great today," and like you said with Raven, I'd be like, "Oh, well, your hair is really pretty
Yeah,
too,"
yeah,
or and it's like I can take little pieces,
yeah.
but my looks is still a journey for me,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I don't know if that'll ever change a hundred
Mm-hmm.
percent,
Yeah,
but um, but I feel. I mean, I'm still a much better person in my skin.
yeah.
You know, I I feel much better as a person, and so it's a process,
Yeah.
but
I mean, the growth I've seen in you has been astounding, and just to watch your role, even as being a grandmother, has grown so much. And um, yeah, it's been really cool to watch. I mean, you started doing the Monat, is that how you say
Monet,
it?
yeah,
Monet, the hair care products,
right,
and then even that, putting yourself out there. I mean, I can see that you have grown in confidence in many ways, not just physically, but
yeah,
you would have never have gotten yourself on social media on your own
correct,
volition
right,
to do something like that. So it's not just this; it's from the inside.
yeah,
So I think with aging and taking care of yourself and the mental aspect has made a huge difference, and it's good. It's awesome to see. It's fun to watch, and
well, thank you. Okay.
we've been on very different journeys, through the last, what, Raven's 15.
I
Oh my
know,
God. The last
yeah,
15 years.
15 years. Well, I mean, yeah, like
It's,
we met in 2008, not,
yeah,
it's so, yeah, so it's crazy.
yep. So let's take this self-confidence piece and move it into your married
Yeah.
life. So that is a huge, I think the self-confidence, for me, what we've just talked about, the self-confidence piece is a huge part, not a huge, a major part of why you're still married.
Right,
So that's what I feel. That's what I see. I know there's other factors
right,
there
right.
that are very, to me, are legitimate and understanding. And I would have a hard time if you were to get divorced. I could understand why you wouldn't want to, because of like the medical issues and all that.
Yeah.
Like that would be a hard break for me as well. So I'm with you on that portion. But you got married. I think you were in your early 20s, right? When you got married?
We got married. I think we had just turned 21.
Okay.
Literally.
Yep.
Like we were both 21 when we got married.
Yep.
And yeah, now people this day would be like, "What on earth were you thinking?" And I mean, I'm sure, but at that point, I was already a mother, and I felt way older beyond my 21 years, and I was
Mm,
like, I'm ready.
right.
I'm in love. This is great. Now would my 58-year-old self say that I was ready? Probably not. Looking back, be like, girl, no. But you no regrets. You keep going, and um, yeah. So I think that getting married so young, and then having to literally kind of grow up, I mean, because
You
let's
did. You
face
grew up
it,
together. Yeah.
yeah, you're not a grown ass person at
No.
21, even
But
though
you
you
knew each
think you are.
other. But you already knew each other because
Oh
you
yeah,
were in
I
high
mean,
school
we had
together.
No. We
No?
met at work, and we were really good
Okay.
friends.
Okay.
Really good friends. We each had other, you know, I kind of stole them from this girl, if you will.
Okay. Let's hear the dirt.
Yeah, there was some of that, and I was just like, I was like, yeah, no, we're going for it. But again, you can't steal somebody if there's not cracks in something. So, but
Right, right,
anyway,
right.
yeah, so we, got together very young, and it that in itself, starting yourself out as a person, and not really defining who you are as a person, and but then so I was defining myself first as a mother, and then as a wife, and then trying to figure
Yeah,
myself out as a
yeah. So
person.
there's no Stephanie in there at
No,
all.
no,
Right,
no.
right.
So that uh that was that was probably, you know, if you want to say a mistake, that was probably my first mistake, is not figuring out who I was
Right.
in the mix.
So let's move you forward to moving to North Carolina. So what
Yeah,
I had seen happen, and this is kind of what happened in my first marriage, is that you hit a breaking point where he wasn't growing with you anymore. He wasn't doing the things that needed to happen for him to grow for himself, which came off as being, okay, well, because he's not taking care of himself, he doesn't care about me. He's not getting out of this cyclical spiral that he's been in, which again is just one component of
right,
it. But what I saw in my first husband was the same thing. I'm like, I'm trying to go here. Like we're getting older. We have to start worrying about these things. You have a son. You got to think about your child, and you've got to take care of your future. Like I'm all about living in the moment, but having a goal or whatever. You just maturing. So it felt like there were a few things that kind of just broke the camel's back, and you're like, look, this is the journey I'm going on. I can't do it with you anymore because you don't want to come with me.
right.
So that kind of led you to, if you want to kind of discuss that, like how that led you to North Carolina.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's, take a step back. When I started, my fitness journey in 2008, and, just progressed that all the way up to competing in 2016. So, I mean, it wasn't a quick process. None of this was quick. And then after that, just continuing to try to better myself and
Mhm.
better myself. Well, looking at my husband's decline in health, and then ultimately, a very severe, health issue,
Mhm.
that put him in a critical situation multiple times over, a few months. And then on top of that, then watching him not, you would, like I said, you think an incident will be your rock bottom,
Yeah.
and that's your light bulb to like change your life. I could see that, but he couldn't see that. And then fast forward, COVID, and then that put us under a microscope,
Yeah.
because then it was in my face every single
Yeah.
day. And
You saw the habits all the
right.
time and just watching him slowly killing himself over and over and over again.
Yeah. And it was really difficult to watch. And I think that I realized that maybe me being there was preventing him from taking action,
Mhm.
as much as it pained me in myself. But I knew I needed, and I don't want to say I did it for him, because Lord knows I didn't. I did
Right,
it for me. But
right.
I also realized that maybe I was part of his problem.
Hmm.
And
Well, because you're a doer. You take care of people.
I
You
am
you want to help others.
I do. I
Yeah.
do. I want to fit. I want to be the fixer. I feel
Yeah.
like, I take on so many different things, and I want to be the fixer. And,
Right.
so I think at that point, I did have just that moment of clarity, like, no, I need to do this for myself.
Mhm.
And I mean, I'm not saying, but that you need to get up and move, 4 states away, but it was in my plan, and
You had a dream.
I
You had a
did.
dream.
I
Yeah.
did. And so I think I finally had that self confidence, to say, I'm doing this, and I'm
Yeah.
going, and I'm
Yeah.
moving. And I did
Yep.
it. And, living in Maryland for 40 some years, I mean, I, to get up and move to a town where you know absolutely no one is so crazy, but I did it.
Scary, crazy, exciting.
Yeah, it's all of the
Yeah.
things. And it was like I had a chance to reinvent myself
Yeah.
almost. But it was really daunting too, because it was like, well, who am I? Who am I in
Mm-hmm.
this person, in this place? Like, you come in and it's like, well, who are you?
Right.
And I'm like, I don't know.
You've got these four walls around you, and you're by yourself, and you have no one to answer to but
Well, and the
yourself.
thing is, 50 some years old, 55 years old,
Yeah.
whatever, I was on my own for the very first time in my entire life. Like, literally never lived on
Nope.
my own ever.
Home to
Oh
Bruce
yeah,
to
yeah. From
that's
my
it.
parents to
Yeah.
Bruce,
Yep.
so I never, went away to college, never did that, never lived
Yeah.
in my 20s, never, any of that. So this was my first time ever living alone, which was crazy.
Yeah. If any
So,
of you guys, when you guys watch this playback, have been in a similar situation, please let us know. Like,
yeah,
we know that there's so many women out there who have had a life very similar to that, and we'd love for you guys to reach out and just share what you went through and how you overcame it and what you did. If you did get out, maybe you really are good, like you found the love of your life and you're still married, and
yeah,
find ways to be alone in within that and enjoy it, or have more similar story like Steph and had to leave.
yeah,
So now you're in North Carolina. Well, you're not in North Carolina right now, but you're living in North
right,
Carolina. There was a point in time where he ended up living with you for some
yeah.
time.
So that was a blow. But again, because I am a
Yeah.
fixer, I am somebody that takes care of people. Again, a major health issue arose, and
Y'all,
he
just
ended
so
up.
you know, just hold on one second. I was a pissed off. I lost so I had to be very ginger and careful with Stephanie because, again, it's when knowing when to push and when to back away, right? And not back away in the sense of like, oh, I'm not going to talk to you because you're going through this. It was like, okay, breathe, Nikki. This is not your life.
Right, right.
I was like,
Well, I mean, yeah,
nervous
again,
because I have
there's
my own shit going on. I'm dealing with my own stuff, and to keep, like, it wasn't fair. Like, it wasn't fair in my mind that I would keep drilling on you when you could just drill back at me, right?
well, you weren't the
Yeah,
only one. I mean, there was a
yeah,
couple other people who were just like, Stephanie, what the fuck?
yeah,
No, no, no.
yeah, yeah,
But he is the father of my children,
yeah.
and after 30 some odd years, almost 40 years, you know I'm a I do have compassion, and
Yeah.
I
And
you
you
know
do go back to what's
w-
comfortable
well,
sometimes.
yeah,
Even
that too. So yeah, so he came back, and yes, that did put a little pin of my in my bubble, and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
took a couple steps back. There was a bit of a setback in my
Right,
self-confidence,
right.
too, because you know um but again, you you have those highs and lows, and
Yeah. Yeah, because
sometimes.
you stepped out of that role and started to work on yourself and be confident. Like you said, that bubble burst, and then you had to come back, and you went back into that other bubble for a little bit. But I still think that you had some
I
left.
did.
You know what I mean?
I didn't go full in. It was
Right.
definitely a change, and I felt more in control of my own emotions. I felt more in control of it was seeing it from a different point of view, and
Yeah.
not almost looking at it from the
Yeah.
outside,
Outside.
and not getting
Yeah.
sucked, yeah, not getting sucked back into that you know role of taking care of and fixing and all of
Mhm.
that. Like, nope, this is still on you, and you
Right.
have to fix it. You have to be that one to
Mhm.
want to fix it. You have to be, and take that ownership. So I withdrew myself as the owner of his health,
Right.
and put it back on him. And
Yeah.
so it was different. Um, and I still continued to work on myself, in different ways.
Mhm.
And live my life
Yeah.
as my independent self, is what I call it.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. And eventually he, got on his feet again, and is, so doing his own thing.
Right.
And but it took a while,
Yeah.
and it
It
was it was
was it
hard.
was heart-wrenching.
It
It
was.
really was because I could see the confidence going up and up and up, and you're getting out, you're going to different coffee shops, you're talking to random people.
Right.
I'm coming down to visit. You had so much freedom that you've
Yes.
never experienced before. And then to be kind of, instead of being shackled on two ankles, you were just shackled on one, but you were still shackled. And you guys, it was months and months.
Well, yeah,
And
it was a long
he's
time, and
going
it
next
did.
month. He's
It's
going next month. He's
yeah.
going next month.
I know, and it did. It shook me, and and there was a little bit of embarrassment, because I
Yeah,
was just like, I did feel like I I let myself down,
yeah.
in a sense,
You withdrew
and
big time.
I
You pulled
did,
away from
I did,
everybody.
I
You pulled away.
did.
Yeah, yeah. But maybe that's self-preservation. Maybe it's hiding. Maybe it's just a little bit of everything. But I think you knew everything that was going
Yeah.
on, which is good because you knew it was happening. So it was just a matter of getting out of that bubble again to just say,
Right.
no, this got to stop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and standing my ground, and standing up for myself, and just really, moving forward and pushing on.
Yeah,
And again, my journey is my journey. It's not your journey. And
yep,
I could say the same thing, about different events in your life, and
yeah.
seeing them from the outside in, and being like, Nick,
Right,
no, no,
right.
but it's not
In the back of our heads, we're always like, I know. That's always my reaction. I know,
I know,
but I do nothing about it.
right.
I know.
But
Right? Because
again,
we see what we're doing,
yes.
and then we get the little jabs at each other, and then we
Well,
back
it's
away like,
just a
okay,
little nudge, It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
come on, girl, come on,
Nudge. I
come on,
like that.
girl. I know you can do it. I know you can. Come on.
It's like pulling your dog when they're
Yeah,
tired, like, you
yeah.
can do
Or
it.
the baby's like taking their first steps. I know you got it
Right.
in you, and then you sit
Oh,
back down.
okay, totally random. I just saw an Instagram reel, right? And they said to help babies walk is to put two balls in their hands and they just start walking. Try it.
Okay,
Sorry,
all right.
guys.
We're gonna do it. We're
It
gonna do
just
it for the
popped in my
baby.
head. You have to do it, Lucy and Jude. See if
If
it
Yeah,
works.
we'll see if June does it. Okay, because
Yeah, I
she's
think
like,
I don't
she's
know the
ready.
mechanism, but they just,
Okay, all right.
okay, sorry.
We'll see if
Back to
that
the
works.
featured video.
There you go.
Um, So yeah, I mean, this is the role of being a best friend and really knowing someone and trying to be there for them, but also trying to take care of their own shit because actually I had to recent situation with a friend that we were like talking to each other every day, and all of a sudden she literally just ghosted me. I have
Mm,
not talked to her in months. And it was interesting because she told me when we first started talking that her friend had stepped away from her because she couldn't handle what the my friend was going through. And I'm just like, you're doing exactly what this other person did that
right.
you,
Hmm.
meanwhile, she has issues in her life that I was there for her and helping her and listening to her. She several times she'd call me on the phone crying, and I just listened. And I felt really hurt by that, but there's nothing I can do. So there's something that it was going on in my life at the time that triggered her that she had to step away. So I've messaged her twice since then and nothing. And
Wow.
like, okay,
Well,
like I'm
yeah,
sad because we had a really good relationship for several months, and I really enjoyed talking to her, and she had some great advice. We also talked many other subjects, and it was fun. And yeah, it's just so I don't know. And
yeah,
it
I
and I
know.
don't know. It's
And
almost like dealing with Andy in that.
well,
That's
yeah,
what it
yeah, I mean that
that's
was
what it
really
was. That's
hard.
what it
I
felt
mean,
like.
yeah, to have somebody do that, it's it's really
Literally, one day we were good, the next day gone.
done.
No explanation, no nothing.
No. Mm-mm. Yeah, and I don't know what else to say, but that was just wow.
Yeah, when it happened to
Yeah,
us with Andy, it was just I'm like, what did I didn't what did we do
I
wrong?
don't know.
That was what
Well,
really freaked
and
me
then I
out.
guess we just have to take a step back and say, because that I think that as a woman, that's your first instinct to say, well, what did I do? What did I do?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
not just be like, oh, well, she must be going through something,
Yeah.
or they must be, going through something, and I'll give them their space if that's what they want. But no, it was, when somebody puts up that wall and is just
Yeah.
gone, like it's hard not to take it personal,
Right. Right.
whether it is or
Yep.
not,
And we're still talking to this day, you guys. It's been over a year, at least a year, a couple
oh
years now,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
It's been
I still have no
a
clue.
yeah, still.
Yeah,
It hurts. It
it does
hurts.
hurt.
Like it's human nature to care about someone, especially when you guys have commonalities or you have two
Yeah,
interesting stories that come together, and then people just fall off. And like I wish nothing but the best for her and my other friend, but it's just
right.
like
I know.
I don't know what
Well,
happened.
and I
Okay,
think,
but anyways, we're getting derailed.
yeah.
Okay. Um, so who is Stephanie today and what's going on so we know that your husband is out, you are still married,
Yes,
right? So you're
yes.
still on the journey of figuring that part out. What is holding you so secure in this marriage right now?
Um,
Or
I
came
yeah.
to it maybe? I don't know how you look at
Yeah,
it.
no. I mean, I think that, well, okay, I've been around a lot of divorce in my life, and including, um, so being a child of divorce, which is never easy. I don't know. I mean, maybe there is somebody out there that can make it easy on a child, but it wasn't easy.
Mhm.
And then seeing other divorces. Go very, 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 very bitter and mean and ugly. And I just don't want to be that person. I don't want to be angry. I don't want to be bitter. I don't want to be that person. So am I hiding in the sand and not being divorced because I don't want to be that person? I don't think that that's the answer either.
Mhm.
I just think that right now, this is where I need to be, and I'm okay with that. I don't need a piece, like some people say, I don't need a piece of paper to be in love. Well, I don't need a piece of paper to be divorced.
Right.
And now I know that there are some legal aspects and some financial aspects and all of that. Yes, I get that. Um, but right now, that's not a priority.
Mhm.
having my independence and having him respect my independence
Mhm.
means 1,000% times better than having a piece of paper
Right.
saying that we're severed. Um, so I think it can go both ways. Um,
So are you guys, have you guys agreed to consider yourselves as being single? So you're single, but
no,
he's not.
no. I don't know how he feels about
Okay.
that. I guess if there's a defining term, I don't know. I hate to use the word; it's complicated, but
It's
no, I
complicated.
guess I don't. I feel myself as independent. Will I say that I'm single? I don't
Okay.
know. That might be another conversation for maybe I need to talk to my therapist about that one. Independent is where I
Yeah.
define myself right
Yeah.
now.
No, I respect that. I think because you are still on that self-confident journey. Like you've been with the same man for so long. We haven't even gotten into the dating aspect. That hasn't even come up.
No.
So I think where you're at, you're comfortable where you're at in your journey. And I think someone comes along, it might change
Yeah, I don't
the
know. I
journey.
think
It might move
yeah,
it.
yeah, that would be that might I mean obviously that might change things
Yeah.
definitely. Um but I think just trying to be in love with myself for once and maybe
Yeah.
for the first time ever
Yeah.
is more of my goal than trying to open myself up um for a new love or
Yeah. I think
and
it will come automatically. I think how it, how I believe it works is that when you are fully confident and
mhm.
in love with yourself, that door opens. You're not going to have a choice,
Right.
meaning something will come your way and it will hit you over the head and club you over the head. Whether you want it or not, it will happen. So I think we'll see as you progress on your journey that might go in that direction as long as
Well,
you're open. Like
yeah,
I
yes.
feel like you are staying open, not to other people, I mean open to continuing to
Yes.
progress
Yes.
yourself, to fall in love with yourself, to
Yeah.
becoming better into who Stephanie is at almost 60. It's a very different, you're a very different person.
Yeah.
So I still see the struggle because of wanting to be the fixer and the taker
Yeah.
carer, right?
Yeah.
Of your four grandchildren and the needs of your children. So I still see that old Stephanie comes back.
Yeah.
So
She's still there.
but that's kind of, you're always going to be. It has to be there. That's who you are. I think
Right.
fundamentally it will always be there. But I think sometimes it takes over Stephanie.
Right.
Like that, you lose yourself because of that. So I think that you're still
Well,
working through.
I think it in the sense that if there's something you don't want to look at yourself for, if you don't want to fix yourself, then you focus your energy somewhere else. You're
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm just gonna put that blinder on right
Yeah.
now, and yes, kids,
Yeah.
yes, grandchildren,
Because you
yes,
still want to do
work.
something. You
I'm
still
gonna
want to engage in something, but you just don't want to do that.
yeah, it's like, no, don't tell me to do that. Shut up. I'm not doing
Yeah.
that right now. Um, so I think that there was a little bit of that, but yeah, as I continue to work on myself and work on that self
Yeah.
love, and I think that will allow me to open up. I
Yeah.
mean, one thing that everything, through everything that you've been through, I feel like you've always been able to do it with a smile, and that's what I want to do. Like I still want to be able to smile every day and find something I'm grateful for, something that is, making me happy. And that's why, I before work, I will wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I will wake up
Yeah.
at 6 o'clock in the morning and I will go to the beach and watch the sunrise and say, today is going to be the most amazing freaking day I can have
Yeah.
because I am here and
Yeah.
this is what I'm doing.
Yeah. Your dreams are coming true. You're making them happen. And it's
Right.
not going to be sunshine and rainbows every single day, but the real, you go to that water and the reality hits of like, I did it.
I did it. I
Yeah.
did
And
it.
then you have, then you
Yeah.
can and go through the rest of your day and then just expand on that and compound on that and make it better and better and continue that self-improvement journey. And it's like, I have this, I'm
I
good.
know.
It's the little things.
It is.
It really is. Like I was, so we went to pick up some Adrian, what's up? We went
Oh
to
my
pick
girl.
up some sweets for Thanksgiving and their espresso machine was down. I was so angry.
Oh, is it?
You
Oh, that
would
would be
think
like,
someone killed my puppy, you guys.
yes.
Like I was like
Don't
I wanted that
don't F
cappuccino
with my
so bad.
coffee.
It damn near
You
ruined my night.
yeah, exactly. Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
breathe.
I know.
I mean, I eventually kind of got over it, but I'm still thinking about it, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't mess with my coffee.
Right,
Nikki and
right.
I will drive 20 miles out of our way to
Yes.
go find a freaking coffee shop.
I tell you, I have met the best people at coffee shops. I've had the best
This is
experiences. I've met
true.
so many random people over coffee.
Yes.
And I just met some random guy, Nova, at a coffee shop. I'm just chilling, sitting by myself. This fool pulls out a bunch of leather and we end up having an hour conversation.
But that's who you are,
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was fun. So again, it's that, I guess that's that
Well, so you
openness.
attract. It's what you attract,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
that's the other thing is you've got to make yourself open to
yeah,
attract what you need and what you want.
yeah, yep,
Sometimes, it's a little bit of both.
yeah, absolutely. All right. On that note, you have a full day ahead of you.
Yes, I'm
Um,
going to pick up my
tell,
big girls,
yes.
and so I'm gonna have
Oh
all
my
four of them
gosh.
together, and my world is just
It's
full.
complete.
It is today. It's full. So
Oh, please tell everyone I said hi and I love them. I love you so,
I
so,
love
so,
you
so
too.
much.
So thank you
I'm
for this
glad you're in your happy
opportunity. I'm
place.
so glad to
Yes,
share, and this is going to be a wonderful venue for you.
yeah,
And
thank
hey,
you.
ladies, check out Hey Nikki because she's got it, and
Yeah,
there's more to
thank
come.
you.
More to
Yes.
come. So, all
All
right,
right, guys,
love
that
you.
wraps up Hey Nikki episode 2. I love you, Adrian. I miss you
Oh
so
my
much.
God,
Oh
girl,
my gosh. I'm
she's
gonna get
coming
your
on
ass
next.
on the
Talk
show.
about a bad bitch. Yo,
Right? Oh
yo,
my God.
yo.
Adrian, you're
Yes,
coming on. It's done.
yep, yep. You get her.
So
All right.
so you guys, I think I really want to get have Stephanie and Bonnie back on throughout the course of the show. We know each other so well that we can have some really awesome conversation based on other guests or other things that pop up. And I think it'll just be fun.
Yes.
Bonnie and Stephanie and I were all in very different journeys of our life. And I think it's cool to watch each other go through them and bring that into the show while we have other guests. Like I think it'd be fun just to go back and forth, like every other month, have you guys on just to bring you back, see what's going on in
Yes.
your journeys, and then talk about some of the other guests that I have on. So, all right. I love you.
Love you
Have a
guys.
good day. Thank you,
Thank
you
you.
guys. Enjoy the show. Hopefully you watch it later. Please be careful today on Black Friday. Thank God Black Friday's been going on for the last month and a half.
Exactly.
But be careful on the road and have a great holiday weekend.
All right.
And hopefully I'll see you next week with someone else, but I'll let you know when I have my next guest
Sounds
on.
great.
All right. Bye,
Love you. Bye.
Steph.